Hi friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Fisayo and I film videos about my journey as an international student navigating life in the United States along with my creative interests and experiences. Today, I'll be sharing with you how to maximize your grad school experience. If this interests you, definitely keep watching. Okay, so before we get into this video, I'd like to hear from you. How has your first month been? Like, is it giving everything it's supposed to give? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel tired? Do you feel excited? Are you stressed? Do you like your school? Do you like the environment? Let me know how you're feeling in the comment section. Just like write it down right now as you're listening to me. Just write it down, okay? Write it down. And don't forget to hit like on this video while you're doing that. If you're new here, absolutely please subscribe to my channel. Alright, so brief background about me. I came to the United States as an international student just like you. I started my program in August of 2020, although I didn't get to move to the US until December of 2020 because it was in the heat of COVID and I couldn't get a visa to come to the US. So I graduated from my MBA program in May of 2022, and I actually did have a great grad school experience. And looking back now, I want to help somebody out there who's in grad school right now, who is wondering how to maximize their time, how to maximize their experience. So I'm going to be giving you a couple of tips based on my experience and things that I've also learned and things that I wish I did while I was in grad school. The first thing is for you to make international friends. You probably are an international student or even a domestic student. Wherever it is that you're coming from, do not isolate yourself to just being friends with people that look like you or that have the same background as you. So for instance, if you're a Nigerian, coming from Nigeria, you're currently in the United States, stop seeking to just be friends with the Nigerians in your class, right? Expand your reach, expand your network. That is why you are in grad school. That is why you are getting international education. You do not leave your home country to still relate with just the people who were in your home country, right? So make sure you're building those international friendships and connections. Networking is a huge deal in grad school, especially if you're in an MBA program. Think about what areas you need to build your network in. Think about what classes, what professors interest you the most. Think about what classmates have very interesting backgrounds that you would like to delve more into, or people who are looking into doing things that you want to do in the future. Start to make those connections, make yourself available. I'm Christian, and the Bible says that he who must have friends must show himself friendly. So if you obviously want to have friends, you must show yourself as someone who is friendly. Be approachable, be polite, smile, embrace people, listen, be an avid listener when people speak to you, and try to follow up on conversations with people. In addition to networking, another thing is attending conferences. There's the if you're Black, National Black Association Conference. There's the Forte Women's Leadership Conference. There's so many. There's Harvard Business School's Africa Business Conference. There's so many Africa business conferences, there's so many empowerment conferences, there's so many engineering conferences, there's NESB, there's so many of them for you to be able to network with people. So ensure that you are registering for those conferences in order to expand your network, to meet more students and to meet more professionals and companies. Now, the second thing on my list is travel. Travel. Like, you can't be in grad school and not travel. Like, you shouldn't. Why? Like, why? Why are you not like traveling? In the first 5 months of moving to the United States, I had visited 8 states in the US, right? I was just going from place to place, like, let me see, I need to be exposed, I need to experience the world differently. The truth is, grad school, it might like be one of the very few times in your adult life, in your early adult life, that you get some flexibility. So definitely have a travel budget, have some money that you save out every month that you can put into traveling. Now, you don't necessarily have to travel by flight. You can do road trip with your friends. You can do like traveling maybe once in a semester or in a quarter, but just make sure that you're getting a lot of exposure. You can join trips with people. You can ask your classmates what they're interested, where they're interested in traveling to. You can get recommendations and join groups of people to travel. You can also even organize a trip, right? Organize a trip for your classmates or your friends and get that experience, but make sure you are traveling. Now, the third thing is for you to develop new interests. You could start a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel like I'm doing currently, right? While I understand that, I mean, you're just starting your program and you might be overwhelmed, I'm not even for you to like, I'm not even asking that you push yourself to the wall. I understand that the first year is always very busy. I know that I started my program remotely, and like my first semester, I had no time for social media at all. In fact, I deleted all my social media apps because I just like could not, like I couldn't. I just wanted to concentrate on my books. It was so tough. So while I say this, I know it's something that you could have at the back of your mind to do probably in your second semester, or maybe during your summer internship, or in your second year, depending on how free you get. But during grad school, it's important for you to try to develop interest. What are your hobbies? Do you like to swim, to cycle, to run? You know, things that you can just do for fun. Make sure you try to start doing those things. You can join a fitness club or a fitness class. Many times the schools that you go to have like free access to the gym, so you can join them. You can join a book club to read like a book every month or 2 books every month. You can start trying to cook different recipes. Like here, when you move to the US, it depends on where you're moving in from, but you see that like many times the kitchen is always fully fitted. There's the oven, there's like different things, appliances that you could use. So go online, look up recipes, try to whip some things. If you've never baked a cake before, you can try to bake, you know, cake. You can try different recipes. You can ask your international classmates for like different food suggestions, and you order like the items online and just try to make them, you know, things like that. You could also take certificates, exams, take on courses on LinkedIn Learning. I'll drop the link in the description. You can take on courses on LinkedIn Learning, learn new things, get new badges, new certificates. If there are case competitions that like are organized by your school, try to participate in any of those. It really stretches you and gives you a lot of exposure and experience. In my case, I actually participated in like 4 different quiz competitions and won 2 with my team. With regards to doing something creative, like I mentioned earlier, maybe like creating a blog or a podcast or a YouTube channel. For me, I created my YouTube channel while I was in my second semester of my second year, right? That's why I said no pressure because I know what it's really like to start doing creative things. But I was able to apply the learnings that I got from my marketing class, like learnings on SEO, research keywords, marketing tips. I was able to put all those things into promoting my YouTube channel. I also learned a lot on editing just from watching videos. So use your time wisely to just like develop more creative interests. Based on this interest that you have, you can also you can start a club in school. So I had a classmate who loved running, and then he started up a running club in school. So things that interest you, you can just find. If these things do not exist in your school, you can gather 1 or 2 classmates together and champion the cause already. Next thing on my list is for you to maximize access to your school's career coaching center. Now I say this because recruitment is important, and you need to be ahead of the game. If at this time you know that you have an opportunity to intern in the summer and you have not already started to work on recruiting, make sure you start networking and speaking to staff members in the career center. Make sure you start booking time with them just so that they can help you to fine-tune your stories. They can have mock interviews with you ahead of recruitment exercises coming up later in the fall. Now, the fifth thing on my list is for you to use your grad school period as a reflective time. I know that many people didn't really set goals, right? Personal goals. I did set some goals and it really helped me to steward my internship. I want you to think back at the reason why you actually decided to get an MBA, the reason why you actually decided to go to grad school. What gaps were you looking to fill in your personal life? I want you to write those things down and try to look for activities that you can do to ensure that you are filling the gaps that you identified in your personal life, right? Whatever it is for you. For me, one of the things that I really wanted to do was to be more articulate. I wanted to do better at presenting, at speaking, and somehow that's how I found myself doing YouTube, speaking to people, right? So make sure that you're reflecting on what your personal goals are. If you didn't set them before, make sure you set them now and try to take actions to ensure that those goals come to reality. Now, the sixth thing on my list is proper time management. As a student, you have the tendency to be dragged from one corner of the school to the other. There's the fear of missing out, which is termed FOMO, right? Students are having parties, there are hangouts, there's social events, there's everything, there's club events, school events, classes, everything. You need to be able to plan your time wisely as a student. You can work with your calendar. Make sure you are blocking time for social activities, blocking time to travel, blocking time to hang out with friends, blocking time to study, blocking times to discuss your ideas with your team members, blocking time to call people back home, to keep the connection, blocking time to read class material ahead of the class. So if you know that grad school is not just like college, like university, where I'm Nigerian and the educational system was more of the teacher teaching at you. You need to create the time to read those class materials, to read those cases, those articles that the professor sends or that the professor has in the syllabus before the class. It will help you a great deal to be a better learner and to engage in class discussions. Don't forget that class participation counts. It adds to your grades, so do not slack on that, okay? Now, the next thing is the student leadership roles. If you look at yourself and you think that you have the capacity to take on a leadership role, maybe you want to lead the Black Association in your school, or you want to lead the Hispanic Association, or you want to be in charge of marketing, student marketing events, or you want to be in charge of social events, or you want to lead the diversity and inclusion arm of your school, whatever it is, whatever leadership role that you think that you are capable of filling, yes, of course, jump at it. This is the time for you to practice being a leader, the leader that you really are, right? This is the time to take on a leadership role. If you feel like you have the capacity and the bandwidth to do it, definitely go for it. Finally, students are allowed like a 20-hour paid work week. So if you have some time on your plate, you can look for paid jobs on campus that you can take. If your school allows you to do jobs outside campus and it doesn't conflict with your schoolwork, definitely take that on, right? If you have a graduate assistantship role, you know, put your best foot forward on that job as well. And these are opportunities for you to maximize the time you have. In the comments, let me know what points stood out the most for you. Let me know what points you're going to be actioning on. I'm going to be your accountability partner, so make sure you write it down, and in a year's time I'll come back to this chat and ask you and say, hello, did you do this? Okay, so let me see in the comments what things that you are going to do, what stood out the most for you amongst the points that I listed, and what things you are going to be practicing. Thank you so much for watching my video. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Don't forget to hit like on this video. It encourages me a lot. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Thank you, and see you in my next video. Bye.